4 o'clock, I imagine everybody's ready to get going. So we'll call the meeting to order. Roll call, has it been taken? Mr. Burke?
Through your chair, yeah. Roll call
Okay.
has been taken.
Does anybody have a declaration of conflict of interest to declare? Seeing none, there's no presentations this evening. There's 3 items for consideration and consent on our agenda. Are there any items members would like separated? Councilor Carpenter?
Yes, the one that shows the red light cameras. I think that's the first one, I believe, and the other one would be, that would also include the locations of meetings.
Okay, I caught the red light camera. I didn't catch the other.
I believe it's the same document that has the location of meetings. I just wanted to raise an issue there.
Okay, alrighty. Meeting location.
Start the meeting.
Okay, are there any others for separation? Seeing none, could I get a mover and a seconder to put what wasn't separated on the floor? Moved by Councilor Sicoli, seconded by Councilor Samwell. Any discussion? We'll call the question. All in favor? It's carried. Could I get a mover and seconder to prove, where are we here now? Mover and a seconder to put all items for consideration that were separated on the floor. Councilor Sicoli, Councilor Martin, any discussion? Well, yes, there is discussion. Councilor Carpenter, you have the floor.
Yeah, on the red light cameras, like I got a question from a constituent about the one, especially the one at Henry Street and Wayne Gretzky Parkway. My understanding is he said sometimes the yellow light is flawed and it goes from yellow to red, or there's a problem, for example, when emergency services, which the ambulances use that intersection quite a bit coming down from Henry Street, that the light will go through a cycle rather quickly. So, because the ambulance will change to red to green as they're coming through, and then it goes back to the middle of the cycle. Are the yellow lights, have they been reduced in any of these places with red light cameras that are on? Have they been reduced from what normal yellow lights would be at other intersections? That's the question.
Okay, is there a staff member that can address that, that's on the call?
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. David Ferguson, Manager of Traffic Services. So the amber lights are set as to provincial standards, so they remain the same.
So they're the same in every location. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, yeah, they're based on essentially an equation that's outlined through the Ontario Traffic Manual for traffic signals, and the times are identified through that.
Now, the other thing, would the emergency service using that intersection have any implication with the traffic lights being adjusted there?
Through the chair, so at that intersection, there is special signal operations. So as an emergency services vehicle approaches, it will modify the signal timing to provide them with a green signal. It does not impact the red light camera operations.
So the cycle would go back to normal right afterwards. It wouldn't be a reduced cycle or anything like that.
Through the chair, that's correct. It repicks up the cycle and then just continues through.
Okay, that's my question. Thank you.
Hey, did you have a second question as well, Councilor Carpenter?
Yeah, on the dates, you have in the dates, I don't have a problem with the 4 monthly meetings that you have scheduled for next year, but it says that all meetings will be held at City Hall. I'd like you to include in there / or virtual. It doesn't indicate virtual. I want to just make that clarity.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I think that's friendly. Yeah, that'll be accepted as friendly, Councilor Carpenter. Oh,
Yeah,
Councilor Martin, sorry, go ahead. You good? Okay, Councilor Martin?
Yeah, the report talks about hiring a consultant to study the automated speed cameras. So if the consultant report comes back and says it's not financially viable, does that mean we're not going to do the program?
Through the chair, so yeah, it's an evaluation of what the various options are in terms of how to run an automated speed enforcement program and how it would best benefit the municipality. We'll provide obviously that information to committee and make a recommendation and go from there.
Is that not something staff can do? You're just gonna phone around to places that have it set up in different ways and find out what the pros and cons are, isn't it?
Through the chair, yeah, automated speed enforcement is a little more comprehensive than a red light camera program, unfortunately. And there are various avenues that we could take in terms of operations. So we don't have the internal resources to be able to undertake that ourselves.
Okay, how many different options will there be for them to look at, do you know?
Through the chair, we're looking at maybe 3 to 4 options.
Okay. Not sure I agree with hiring a consultant for that, but in the red light camera, the location market at Wellington, there's very low numbers there. Is that one that should be moved to a better intersection?
Through the chair, so yeah, so in 2024, we will be doing a further evaluation of intersections, signalized intersections, for consideration of red light camera and assessing how the current ones are operating. So that may be something for future consideration.
Okay, and how many tickets, either per day or per month, do we need for the program to break even?
Through the chair, if I recall correctly from the original report, it was based on 1 ticket per day per location.
Okay, and we're exceeding that, so there's money left over to put towards the speed cameras then, I guess, eh?
Through the chair, yeah, I mean, that would be the preference to have a red light camera reserve.
Okay, thank you.
Counselor Carpenter? Second time?
Yeah, Council Martin raised a good point. So where does this money flow to? The fines, they go to another department?
Through the chair, yeah, so currently, those funds are collected, I believe, through POA. I don't know if anybody from finance is on board or legal that could speak more directly towards this than I could.
Good evening. My name is Jason Carrier. I'm the manager of court administration. Dave, I can speak to this a little further. So through the chair, with regards to the fine revenue that comes in for red light cameras, they are put into a reserve fund that is transferred over to, transferred to a reserve fund for future Vision Zero initiatives.
That's good to hear. Thank you.
Okay. Anything further before we call the question on this? Seeing none. All in favor? Carried. I believe that takes us to the end, Mr. Chair. We have no resolutions. We have no notices of motion.
Chair Stas, we did not take a vote on the item 5.2. Councilor Carpenter spoke to it, but we didn't take a vote on that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we had.
I thought we had already too.
Are you sure we haven't?
I thought we didn't, because that one was both for discussion. Councilor Carpenter spoke
Okay.
about it, but we didn't take a vote on that.
Okay, then we're voting on your separation, Councilor Carpenter. All in favor?
Yep.
Opposed, It's carried. Now we've done them all, correct, Mr. Clerk?
Yes.
Okay, we're rolling now. There's no resolutions, there's no notices of motion. Unfortunately, we're adjourned.